Confidence. It's the first thing that sets the tone for attraction. And let's be honest, nothing is more magnetic than a woman who walks into a room and just owns it. Not because she's trying too hard, not because she's the loudest, and definitely not because she's putting on a show, but because she feels good. She's comfortable in her own skin, and that energy is felt before she even says a word. Now, I know confidence can feel like one of those things people throw around as advice, like, just be confident, as if it's a switch you can flip on demand. But here's the secret. Confidence isn't about being fearless. It's not about having all the answers or never feeling nervous. It's about trusting yourself in the moment, knowing you don't have to be perfect to be captivating. Flirting thrives on this energy. It's not about trying to impress someone. It's about creating a space where both of you feel excited to be there. You're not standing in front of someone hoping they'll find you attractive. You're engaging, you're playful, you're expressing yourself in a way that says, I enjoy who I am, and I think you might enjoy me too. So let's talk about some real practical ways you can step into that confidence, especially in conversation. The first thing, posture and eye contact. You can say all the right things, but if your body language doesn't back it up, the impact is lost. Before words even leave your mouth, your presence speaks. Are you shrinking into yourself, arms crossed, shoulders hunched, or are you standing tall, relaxed, making eye contact that lingers just a second longer than usual? That moment where your eyes meet and you don't rush to look away, that's an instant charge of attraction. It's playful, it's powerful, and it shows you're comfortable being seen. But confidence isn't just in how you stand, it's in how you speak. Have you ever noticed that some people talk in a way that almost apologizes for their presence? They use a soft, hesitant voice. Their words trail off as if they're waiting for permission to continue. Now contrast that with someone who speaks with certainty. Not arrogance, not dominance, just an assuredness in their words. That's compelling. So slow down, speak at a pace that says, what I'm saying is worth hearing. And here's a little trick. When you ask a question, stay in the moment instead of rushing to fill silence. If you ask what's something you're really passionate about, don't just move on to the next thing the second they answer. Let it breathe. Let there be space for a follow-up. That ability to hold a moment rather than nervously jumping from topic to topic makes you feel composed, grounded, and in control of the interaction. Now, I know that for some people, confidence takes a hit when nerves kick in. You might think, what if I say something awkward? What if I mess up? But flirting isn't about delivering a perfectly polished performance. It's about engagement. If you trip over your words or laugh at yourself mid-sentence, that's not a failure, that's human. The best flirtation comes from women who aren't trying to be flawless, but who own their moments. The difference between awkward and charming is all in how you react to yourself. And here's another shift in mindset that changes everything. When you're flirting, don't go in seeking validation. Go in with the attitude of, I'm going to bring great energy into this conversation. And if we connect, great. If not, that's okay too. That's confidence. Not attaching your worth to someone's reaction, not overanalyzing every expression on their face, but instead knowing that no one interaction defines you. So let's make this real. Picture this. You're at a bar, a coffee shop, a party, wherever. You make eye contact with someone, and instead of immediately looking away, you hold it for just one extra second. You smile. Not because you're trying to get a reaction, but because you feel good. Then, when you walk over or they come to you, you don't open with some overthought line. You say something simple, playful, maybe even teasing. Something like, you've been standing there for 5 minutes pretending not to notice me. I appreciate the effort. That kind of confidence isn't about saying the perfect thing, it's about bringing the energy that makes the conversation fun. Because people don't remember perfect conversations. They remember how they felt talking to you. Did they feel intrigued? Did they feel excited? Did they feel like you were enjoying yourself? Because that's the secret. When you're having fun, the other person can't help but feel it too. And finally, confidence isn't something you wait to have before you start flirting. It's something you build through action. You don't need to be in the right mood or have the perfect circumstances. Confidence is a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So the next time you're in a conversation, don't worry about whether you're being impressive. Just focus on being engaged. Enjoy yourself. Take up space. Speak like what you have to say matters, because it does. And when you do that, you won't need to force attraction. It will happen effortlessly. Flirting should feel fun. It should feel light. It should feel like a dance, not a job interview. Yet so many people turn flirting into this high-pressure situation where they're either too careful, trying to say all the right things, or too reserved, afraid to make a wrong move. But here's the truth. Attraction isn't built on perfection. It's built on playfulness. And one of the fastest ways to create that playful, electric energy in a conversation is through teasing. Now, let me be clear. I'm not talking about being mean or making someone feel small. That's not flirting. That's just bad social skills. The right kind of teasing is fun, light-hearted, and shows you're comfortable enough to play. It's what creates that feeling of, oh, this person isn't just being polite. They're actually engaged. They're actually enjoying this. Think about it. When was the last time you felt genuine chemistry with someone who was just nodding along, agreeing with everything you said, never pushing back, never adding a little spice to the conversation? Probably never, because real connection comes from a bit of back and forth, that feeling of, wait, are they flirting with me right now? That's what makes it exciting. So how do you do it? How do you tease in a way that builds attraction rather than feeling forced? It starts with not being afraid to challenge someone a little bit. Let's say you meet a guy at a party and he says something like, I make the best cocktails. Instead of just saying, oh, cool, try, oh, really? That's a big claim. What's your signature drink? And do I need to lower my expectations? See what happens there? It's playful, it's challenging without being aggressive. You're making him step up and play along rather than just giving an easy. It creates this fun little moment where he now wants to prove himself, which, by the way, is a dynamic that instantly sparks attraction. And here's the best part. When you tease like this, you're showing confidence. You're showing that you're not just there to impress, you're there to have fun. That energy is irresistible. Another great way to add this playful teasing is through mild exaggeration. If he tells you he loves hiking, you can say, oh, wow, so basically you're one of those people who wakes up at 5 a.m. to climb mountains for fun. I don't know if we can be friends. It's silly, it's exaggerated, and it instantly turns a basic conversation into something fun. And then there's the classic, playfully misinterpreting what someone says. If he says, I love cooking, you could smirk and say, oh, so basically you just watch a lot of cooking shows and take all the credit. Again, it's playful, it's not too serious, and it makes the conversation feel alive. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what if I take it too far? Here's the key. Watch how they respond. Flirting should feel like a game of ping pong, not dodgeball. If they're playing along and teasing back, great, you've just created instant chemistry. If they seem genuinely uncomfortable or unsure how to respond, lighten it up. A good tease should always be something the other person can easily laugh at or play with, not something that puts them on the spot. And let's talk about tone, because tone is everything. You can say the exact same words in two different ways and get completely different reactions. The difference between fun teasing and mean sarcasm is all in how you say it. Keep it light, keep it playful, and if in doubt, smile. A teasing remark delivered with a smirk instantly tells someone, hey, we're just having fun here. But the real magic of teasing isn't just in making someone laugh. It's in creating a push-pull dynamic. You're showing interest, but you're also keeping a little mystery. You're not just handing over all your approval on a silver platter, you're making them work for it a little. And that's what keeps it exciting. Because here's the thing, people appreciate what they earn. If someone feels like they've had to work just a little bit to win you over, that connection feels so much more meaningful. It's the difference between someone thinking, oh, they're nice, and someone thinking, I don't know what it is, but I really like them. And teasing isn't just about what you say, it's about how you respond to what they say. If he teases you back, don't just brush it off, lean in. If he says, oh, so you're one of those people who drinks iced coffee even in winter, instead of getting defensive, fire back with something like, of course, it's called commitment, you wouldn't understand. That kind of playful banter builds attraction faster than any rehearsed line ever could. And if you ever get stuck on what to say, remember this. Flirting is just exaggerated normal conversation. It's not about being someone you're not. It's about turning up the dial on your natural personality. If you'd normally say, "Oh, you like running? That's cool." Instead say, "Wow, so you voluntarily wake up early and suffer? Can't relate, but I respect it." It's still you, just with a little extra playfulness. At the end of the day, teasing works because it does two things at once. It creates excitement and it creates connection. It shows confidence, it makes the interaction feel effortless, and it takes you out of the boring, polite small talk zone and into something way more fun. And when you can do that, you don't just become someone they enjoy talking to, you become someone they can't stop thinking about. Making someone feel special isn't about flattery. It's not about throwing out generic compliments like "you have nice eyes" or "you seem really cool." That's surface level. That's forgettable. And flirting is about making a moment feel different. It's about creating a feeling that someone can't shake, something that sticks with them long after the conversation is over. And the fastest way to do that, see them in a way that other people don't. Think about the last time someone made you feel genuinely noticed, not just a passing compliment, but a moment where you thought, "Wow, they actually see me." That's powerful. That's rare. And when you can do that with a man, it immediately separates you from every other person he's talked to that day. Because most people don't take the time to really notice someone. They keep things surface level. They stay in the safe zone of small talk. But when you can pinpoint something specific about a person, the way they talk, the way they think, the little things they don't even realize they do, it creates an instant spark. So how do you do it? First, pay attention. Attraction isn't just about presenting yourself in a certain way. It's about the energy you bring into a conversation. And one of the most attractive energies you can bring, curiosity. Instead of just reacting to the obvious, his looks, his job, his basic interests, look for the little things that make him different. Maybe he's got a specific way he tells a story, or maybe he's got this self-deprecating humor, but it's clear he actually takes a lot of pride in what he does. Maybe he's got a weirdly passionate opinion about something random, like why pineapple absolutely does or doesn't belong on pizza. Whatever it is, call it out, because here's what most people don't realize. When you point out something unique about someone, it's not just about making them feel good. It's about making them feel understood. And that is infinitely more attractive than just telling someone they're handsome or smart. Because a compliment on someone's appearance is nice, but a compliment on who they are, that's rare. That's intimate. And here's the interesting part. When you make someone feel special, it's not just about what you say, it's also about how you listen. Most people listen just to respond. They're already thinking about what they're going to say next before the other person has even finished speaking. But when you listen in a way that makes someone feel like they have your full attention, it's magnetic. There's a difference between someone answering, "Oh, that's cool," and someone actually pausing, letting a moment breathe, and then saying, "Wait, tell me more about that." And when you combine listening with playfulness, that's when real chemistry happens. Let's say he tells you he used to be in a band. Instead of just saying, "Oh, that's cool," try, "Wait, hang on, were you the mysterious, brooding guitarist or the lead singer who made all the bad decisions?" It's teasing, it's engaging, and most importantly, it makes him feel like you're actually interested in who he is, not just filling silence. And here's something most people don't realize. Sometimes making someone feel special isn't about a compliment at all. It's about framing things in a way that makes them step into a more attractive version of themselves. If you say to a guy, "You probably get away with way too much just by flashing that smile, don't you?" You're not just complimenting him, you're suggesting a dynamic. You're making him step into that playful, confident energy with you. And when someone feels like they can be more of themselves around you, but there's one thing that matters more than anything when it comes to making a man feel special, and it's this. It has to come from a place of genuine confidence. If you're saying nice things because you hope he'll like you, it won't work. If you're giving him attention because you want him to validate you, he'll feel that energy. But when you come from a place of, "I already know I'm valuable, I'm just deciding if you're worth my attention," that's when the game changes. Because men don't just want to be flattered, they want to feel chosen. And there's a huge difference between being available to everyone and being someone who chooses who they invest their energy in. The moment a man senses that your interest in him is selective, that you're not just throwing compliments around, but actually seeing something in him that stands out, that's when you become unforgettable. And here's the best part: the more you make someone feel special in this way, the more fun the conversation becomes. Because you're no longer just exchanging information, you're creating a moment that makes them feel different, a moment that stands out. And when you can do that, you don't just make an impression, you make an impact. Flirting isn't about constantly showing interest. It's about knowing when to lean in and when to step back. It's about creating a little tension, a little anticipation, because nothing kills attraction faster than feeling like someone is just handing themselves over on a silver platter. That's where the magic of push-pull comes in. It's that perfect balance of warmth and playfulness mixed with a little bit of mystery. It keeps the energy exciting. It makes someone think, I know they're interested, but there's something about them I still need to figure out. Think about the most interesting conversations you've had with someone you were attracted to. They probably weren't smooth, effortless exchanges where you agreed on everything. They probably had a little bit of teasing, a little challenge, maybe even a moment where you weren't quite sure where you stood. That's because attraction isn't just about getting along, it's about creating intrigue. Most people make one of two mistakes when they flirt. They either give too much too soon, making it obvious from the start that they're all in, or they hold back too much, playing it so cool that the other person doesn't even know they're interested. Both extremes kill the spark. The real sweet spot is in the middle. It's when you give just enough for them to feel that connection, but not so much that there's nothing left to uncover. So how do you actually create that balance? It starts with knowing when to pull someone in and when to let them come to you. Let's say you're in a conversation and he says something funny. Instead of just laughing and piling on the compliments, you can smile and say, okay, I'll admit that was actually kind of good, but don't get too excited, I'm not that easy to impress. It's warm, but it also throws in a little challenge. It keeps the dynamic playful instead of predictable. Or imagine you're in a text exchange and he's being flirty. Instead of responding instantly with enthusiasm, maybe you leave a little pause before replying, or you switch the topic unexpectedly. Not in a way that's cold or distant, but just enough to make him think, wait, I thought we were flirting. Did I lose her for a second? That moment of uncertainty is what keeps him engaged. Because when something feels too easy, people stop valuing it. And that's the key, value. When someone feels like they're earning your attention, even in small ways, they appreciate it more. They don't take it for granted. And the way you create that is by keeping just a little bit of mystery. You don't have to reveal everything about yourself in the first 5 minutes. You don't have to answer every question with full detail. Sometimes leaving things open-ended makes someone want to know more. If he asks, so, what's your deal? What do you do for fun? Instead of giving a long, predictable answer, try something like, oh, that depends. Are we talking fun as in things I can actually admit to, or the fun stuff that requires a little more trust? Now he's intrigued. Now he wants to dig deeper. And this is where a lot of people get it wrong. They think mystery means being secretive or playing games, but real mystery isn't about withholding. It's about revealing things in a way that keeps someone wanting more. If you tell your whole life story in the first conversation, there's no anticipation, but if you drop little hints, little pieces of who you are over time, you create a journey. You make someone feel like they're slowly unlocking different layers of you, which is infinitely more exciting than just laying it all out at once. The other part of push-pull is knowing when to let someone invest in you. When we like someone, we naturally want to do things to impress them. But if you're the one always driving the conversation, always complimenting, always putting in the effort, you're not leaving space for them to show up for you. So sometimes take a step back. If he's telling a story about something he's proud of, instead of immediately jumping in with validation, you can playfully say, I don't know if I'm convinced yet. Watch what happens. He'll lean in. He'll try harder to win you over, because suddenly he's not just receiving your approval automatically, he has to earn it. This doesn't mean you have to be hard to get or make someone work too much. It just means you understand that people value what they invest in. If someone is putting in effort to impress you, to make you laugh, to get to know you, that's when they start feeling really connected. Not because you handed them attraction on a platter, but because they had to engage in the process of building it. And here's the final key: know when to break the pattern. Push-pull works because it creates contrast. If you're teasing and playing hard to get all the time, it loses its effect. But if you throw in a moment of genuine warmth, of real connection, that's when the magic happens. If you've been keeping things playful and a little challenging, and then suddenly you drop your guard for a second and say something sincere like, okay, I'll admit it, you're actually kind of impressive, it lands harder because it's unexpected, because it feels earned. Attraction isn't about chasing or being chased. It's about creating a rhythm, a dynamic where both people feel engaged, excited, and just the right amount of uncertain. And when you master that, you don't just capture someone's attention, you keep it. Confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's not about having the perfect line, the perfect outfit, or the perfect timing. Confidence is about certainty. The certainty that you are enough, that your presence is valuable, and that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. And when it comes to flirting, that certainty is everything. Because a man doesn't just respond to what you say, he responds to the way you carry yourself when you say it. Most people think confidence is something you either have or don't have, but that's not true. Confidence is built in moments, in choices. It's built every time you show up as the most authentic version of yourself without overthinking whether you're doing it right. It's built when you own who you are instead of constantly worrying about whether someone else is impressed by you. And that's the biggest shift. Flirting isn't about getting validation. It's about having fun in the moment, regardless of the outcome. The moment you stop seeing flirting as a performance and start seeing it as play, everything changes. Because when you're attached to an outcome, you're in your head. You're thinking, is he interested? Am I saying the right thing? Did I just ruin it? But when you're just enjoying the interaction for what it is, you're present. You're actually listening. You're actually responding in the moment instead of overanalyzing every little move. And that is what makes you magnetic. Think about the most attractive people you've ever met. They probably weren't the ones trying the hardest. They were the ones who felt comfortable in their own skin. They were the ones who could make a joke at their own expense and still feel powerful. They were the ones who weren't desperate for approval because they already had it from themselves. And that's the energy that makes people lean in. There's this idea that confidence means being fearless, but that's not true. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to not let fear control you. It's knowing that even if a moment doesn't go the way you want, you'll be fine. If you flirt with a guy and he doesn't respond the way you hoped, it doesn't mean you weren't good enough. It just means it wasn't the right match, and that's okay. Because your worth isn't tied to whether or not someone finds you attractive. And here's the secret: the moment you truly believe that, the less rejection even happens. Not because every single person will suddenly be interested, but because when you're unattached to the outcome, your energy shifts. You're no longer seeking validation, you're just showing up as yourself. And that confidence, it's contagious. People want to be around it. There's something incredibly attractive about a woman who isn't afraid to own her space. A woman who can walk into a room and assume she belongs there instead of waiting for permission. And that's something you practice in the smallest ways. It's in the way you hold eye contact a little longer before looking away. It's in the way you pause before responding instead of rushing to fill the silence. It's in the way you smile like you know something the other person doesn't. And it's also in the way you handle moments that don't go perfectly. Because confidence isn't just about how you act when everything is going smoothly, it's about how you recover when something doesn't. Let's say you tease a guy and he doesn't quite get the joke. Instead of panicking and backtracking, you can just smile and say, okay, that one clearly went over your head. I'll give you a second chance to impress me.